So I found this advertorial and it says the ancient plant compound that's helping adults transform their bodies. That's their headline right here. How a 1,000-year-old natural extract is helping people finally lose stubborn weight and reclaim their health. So this advertorial, it looks like it's a supplement and they're selling it for weight loss. Instantly, I see really good signs. All right, after seeing a lot of advertorials, you can kind of just tell like what is good and what's bad. First of all, in their headline right here, which is one of the most important pieces in your advertorial, the ancient plant compound. So in this kind of market with weight loss, people have been, trying to lose weight for like thousands of years, okay? And they're using the ancient plant compound as the kind of curiosity in the hook, right? How a 1,000-year natural extract, because like if there's been weight loss that's been around all this time, people always hear transform your body. They hear the promises to lose stubborn weight. They hear the promises to reclaim their health, but they don't actually believe it because so many people say it. So you kind of need to add your twist of things when your market, is that, I guess, saturated, right? When you have a high market sophistication. So it's by this woman, Sarah Mitchell. And then this little video right here, even though it's AI and it's not like a real person, like obviously, it's actually a really good video right here. This just clearly shows exactly what the person is looking for, a transformation, and it looks like some sort of, like they take the pill and then boom, it's like some transformation with like in a lab, which is kind of like, it gives that scientific angle just visually, okay? They say a picture says 1,000 words. Obviously this is like a little video, but people like instantly in their mind, they're thinking science, okay? They're thinking transformation. They're seeing the product, right? And it gives them a little bit more trust, like a little bit more premium quality, okay? It started subtly, clothes fitting tighter, avoided mirrors and feeling exhausted carrying the extra weight around, then it got worse. Simple activities like climbing stairs left me winded, my confidence plummeted as soon as I avoided social gatherings. So they're talking about how women feel, like it looks like their target is towards women, could be mid-20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, women in general. And like clearly, like this is trying to get them to relate. I felt I was trapped in a body I didn't recognize. This is a big one right here. My confidence plummeted as I avoided social gatherings. I can guarantee I'm not a woman, but there are people who try to lose weight, and just hitting their emotional strings like this is really good. Like everyone who is heavy knows they need to change, but most of them aren't going to make that change, right? Real search for weight loss, trying the usual solutions, at 52, discovery that changed everything, ancient Chinese medicine used for over 1,000 years, okay? It's a good thing they're tying in their headline to their copy here. Research and learn about berberine, a plant compound. They're talking about the science, cellular level, master metabolic switch that tells your body to burn fat instead of storing it. So this is really good. They're explaining it well, like a metabolic switch that tells your body to burn fat instead of storing it. They already explain how it works in like one sentence, right? And you can understand it. I haven't seen this product before, and I just understood it right there. And that's what you want when you're writing your advertorials. Biotech labs, the science behind berberine. Okay, there's a few things right here. They got the product picture a few times. My weight loss journey. Cravings started to diminish by week 2. Scales started moving. Why this matters to you. You don't have to accept it as inevitable aging. Don't wait to reclaim your health and confidence. Your body deserves to feel right and energized. Discovering a safe and affordable solution. Pharmaceutical grade. Okay. Pharmaceutical grade, optimal doing, based in USA, transparent sourcing. really, if I was writing this advertorial, I would want to frame like different alternatives. Like, they've tried exercise is like the most common thing, right? They're selling weight loss and they're talking about this pill. They should be talking about exercise, kind of doubling down, like maybe talking how I got a gym membership and then I went there and I didn't cancel my gym membership, and then I never went to the gym. I never ended up eating healthy too, right? You gotta like say the obvious things that like almost every single woman, okay, they've tried that. They know about weight loss. They want to stay thin, okay? Just literally, it's literally right there. Everyone knows this, okay? I didn't do research on women that are trying to lose weight, but I already know that, right? A lot of moms just try to lose weight, and you gotta talk about why your solution works, and you kind of gotta frame it in their perspective. Why would they buy it instead of other solutions, and why does yours work better? We're talking about the transformation again. I lost 28 pounds total. Okay, I feel like that's slightly excessive. I'll probably do like 20, 25. I've been taking berberine from biotech labs for 6 weeks. Okay, so I mean, if they're selling to women, which it seems like, they should focus on women testimonials. 22 pounds in 2 months. Let me see what this image is. That is a crazy image. Looks like interesting image of an old grandma. What to expect with berberine? How much does it cost? Okay, they got the framing right here. 1 month supply, 3 month supply, 5 month supply. I didn't really see if they talked about the supply. Okay, they got the comment section here. Special reader offer. Okay, so I didn't see about the 1 month supply, 3 month supply. I didn't really read in here that they should be taking this consistently. I didn't see about them talking about the ease of use of these pills, which is really important. Okay, you kind of gotta explain the ease of use, right? I mean, versus others, right? Versus other kind of solutions. See, word count. Let's see how many words. This is really 1,400 words. This is a really short advertorial, and I mean, I guess like something like this would actually work really well. I mean, they kept it very simple. They kept it really short. If I'm selling this advertorial right here, like a 1,000-year-old natural extract, personally, I mean, you can definitely keep it short. I would probably show like some studies, or I mean, they have the science behind berberine, but I would have studies to back it up. Like, just, you can put a graph of like, it doesn't even have to be like a scientific study. You could just make a graph, and then one side on the bottom, it could be like, ages over 30 that use berberine, and then it kind of goes up with like how much weight lost, right? Kind of framing it like, the more women that take berberine, the more likely it is them to lose weight. Okay, and you need to represent that visually. That's very important, because visually, like, your images carry a lot of weight. Of course, the copy is the most important, and your images should support the copy. But a lot of people nowadays, especially if they're coming off of social media, you gotta know it's social media. So let's say they're a 30-year-old mom trying to lose weight. Their mind is kind of like, they're kind of skimming. They're kind of like on a lower attention span. And of course, when you grab their attention to something they care about, like weight loss, you gotta make sure you utilize that attention really well. And some people, they skim over words, so you gotta have a visual representation. And a lot of their images here are just product images, which are good to show the product. I see advertorials that don't show the product at all. Nowadays, you can literally make a UGC image of a person holding your product, and it's like very realistic, like with Nano Banana, for example. So basically, if I was remaking this advertorial, I would make it a bit longer just because weight loss is a pretty big thing and it's not completely cheap, right? I mean, if you're selling a 1 month supply is $40, but you don't really want to sell a 1 month supply. You want to sell higher AOV, 3 or 5 month supply plus more AOV on the back end. Maybe you would sell this along with some like Pilates ring or some sort of like sweating waistband to help you lose weight, where you could just upsell it after. So I would kind of frame it as a lot more valuable because just the page generally was short, and this is a pill. Okay, this is a supplement. I'm not sure about these supplements. Let's see, berberine supplement. Berberine, I mean, it's generally berberine here. I don't really see them on Amazon. Berberine. Yeah, I don't see them on Amazon. But basically, okay, there's weight loss there, discovery. I feel like they rushed it a bit too quick, but generally, I mean, something like this could perform. Okay, sometimes less is more because you have less that you can mess up, and it's quicker too. Like they read all of this, but generally, I would make the images better. Okay, I would include maybe a graph, a simple graph that shows like the amount of women that try it versus the amount of women that don't, that lose weight, that try berberine, right? Some simple statistics. You can literally go up, search how many women who try to lose weight actually lose weight and keep it off. And keeping it off is actually a really big thing. You can tell people to lose weight, but a lot of people who lose weight, majority of them are going to gain it back. Okay, so you could literally mention that in the sales point, right? Women who try this typically keep the weight off over a longer period of time, for example. And then taking this over 5 months, right? It's really important to make it make sense to them to buy for 3 months or 5 months instead of just 1 month, right? That's like extremely important for your AOV. Literally just having a section talking about it, like how the product actually works and explaining, oh, you take it, every day, every other day, whatever, okay, for like an X amount of time, right? So, I mean, you can literally come up with a crazy offer. Like, I feel like this reminded me of Hormozy, where what if you sold this as a supplement? Let's say you say buy a 5 month supply, and then if you're saying take the pills until you lose the amount of weight you want to lose, you could say with your excess pills, you can just give it to family members, or you could give it to friends so they can lose weight as well. And that reminded me of like Alex Hormozy's offer with his last book launch, where he was like, give 200 books to other entrepreneurs, where he was charging like $6,000 for it, and plus he had the payment plan, which was so good. But I mean, you can literally just mention things like you can give the 5 month supply to your friends when you're done losing the weight, or you could say that's what I did, so it gives them an idea what to do since they're writing a story advertorial here. And basically, to sum it up, I would just make this longer. Okay, they have a really good first image. They have a good headline, good sub headline, very simple, and it just gets them to read it, which is the most important part, right? This can perform really well just because they have a really good headline. They're going over everything too, but they should just, in my opinion, they should add more just for that AOV boost where they could charge a lot more. I would add more trust. For me personally, I love adding like an Instagram post that looks like it's embedded with actual people using the product. Okay, so that's basically it. you can kind of look at this advertorial. Generally, they have, you know, this main structure one advertorial should have, and when you're making your headlines and your images, or if you're running a GIF or a video in the front, you can kind of like remember that this is the most important, right? You want to get them on your slippery slope where they read one sentence, then they read the next, and they read the next. And what these guys did really well is the ancient plant compound, 1,000-year-old natural extract, and then they had this really interesting image. So if you're writing advertorials for your brand, keep that in mind. And if you need an advertorial, I make advertorials for e-com brands, mostly that run ads on Meta. So if you need an advertorial built for your brand, right, whether you're scaling or about to scale or starting your brand and you want an advertorial, feel free to message me on X and I can help you with that.